Okay, I'm also going to talk about the present tense of estar. Um, so in English, the verb to be has two equivalents, ser and estar. They both mean to be. We've already done ser. Ser was on capítulo uno, and we've used a little bit of estar when we were saying, how do you feel, and where things and places are. But this is estar. In case you don't know the entire thing. Whoops. This is it right here. Okay, so it's estoy, estás, está, está, estamos, estáis, están, están. And estar is pretty much, it's got more accents than most AR verbs have. And also it's irregular in the yo form, that you don't have just esto, you actually add a y to your estar. It's used to indicate the location of specific objects, people, and places. So let's just do location. Okay. Ana Rosa y Carmen están en la cafetería. So use estar here because you're telling where they're located. La cafetería está en el centro estudiantil. Again, you'd use estar because you're telling where the cafeteria is located. Estar is also used to express a condition or a state. An example is how someone's feeling. Okay. Hola Luis, ¿cómo estás? Hola Sara, estoy cansado. Elena está enferma. So estoy cansado, I'm tired. Elena está enferma. Elena is sick. And ¿cómo estás? How are you? How are you doing? Okay. Adjectives that describe physical, mental, and emotional conditions are used with the star. So adjectives that describe physical, mental, and emotional conditions are used with a star. And this is a list of them. A list of some of those. So if you're wanting to say that you're bored, you're tired, you're married, you're happy, you're in love, you're sick, etc., that's when you're going to use all of these guys with a star. Okay, and we're going to do some more practice with knowing the difference between ser and star in the next class. So Samuel y Eva están casados, they're married. Ramón está divorciado, he's divorced. Alicia está enamorada del novio de Úrsula. Alicia is in love with Úrsula's boyfriend. That's not good. Okay, so let's look at some practice with a star. Okay, so in the first one, we want to pick the emotion and let's actually go back so that we can look at, let's see, maybe I can move them. Okay, so we want to pick which emotion the subjects would be feeling in each sentence, and then we want to use these, because these adjectives go with the star, we also want to conjugate the star correctly. So for example here it says, Ana saca una F en su examen. So she got an F on her test. Sus padres, are they contento? If you go down here, contento is happy, or are they enojado? Enojado is angry. They're probably angry. So what you're going to end up plugging in here is estar enojado. But we can't stop there because we need to make our estar match our subject. So actually, I'll just do it as erasing. Okay, so who's angry? Her parents or they? Okay. And if we look at a star down here for ellos, that's están. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here and I am going to, I need to change that estar to están. So let's get rid of this. Okay, so I'm going to write están now. Okay, and I said they were enojado. If you'll notice though, enojado ends in O. It has to agree with the subjects that we're describing. So the people who are angry are the parents. So enojado needs to agree with those parents. So I have to add an S here because it's two people that are angry. So how I would do that is, sus padres están enojados. So here, Mayra está en el hospital porque because why would she be in the hospital? She's in the hospital probably because enfermo is sick, and then aburrido is bored. So she's probably in the hospital not because she's bored, but because she's sick. Right over here. Okay, so I'm going to put estar, and I'm going to put enfermo. Okay, but again, I'm going to have to make this stuff agree. So if I go over here, who's in the hospital? It's Mayra, which is the same thing as ella. So if I go down here, here's ella, so it should be está. So I need to change my estar to está. Oops. Okay, so I write in está, oops. And then I have enfermo. Again, it ends in O. It needs to agree. Mayra is a girl, so she wouldn't be enfermo. She would be enferma. So Mayra está en el hospital porque está enferma. Alicia y Sara, nervioso o cansado porque tienen un examen difícil en su clase de biología mañana. So they've got this difficult test. So nervioso is to be nervous, or cansado is to be tired. They're probably nervous if they have a hard test. So I'm going to put, estar nervioso. Okay. Who's nervous? That is Alicia y Sara. They're the nervous ones. And that's the same thing as saying they, ellas. So if I come down here for ellas, it's going to be están. So I need to change my estar nervioso to están. Which would be están. And then I had nervioso. Again, I can't have nervioso. I'm talking about two girls. So I need to make it feminine. And because there are two girls and not just one, I also need to add an S and make it nerviosas. So Mario y Manuel están en su clase de matemáticas. La clase dura 3 horas y su profesor no es interesante. So the class is for 3 hours and the professor is not interesting. Ellos, are they aburrido, bored, or enfermo, sick? They're probably bored. Okay, so I'm going to put estar. What estar goes with ellos? If you look back at your chart, it should be están. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Están, and they're aburrido. It's Mario y Manuel. Those are two boys. So I'm going to say masculine, but because it's two boys and not one, I'm going to add an S. Aburridos. Mario y Manuel. Por ellos. Okay. Vosotras blank porque hace buen tiempo y no trabajas hoy. And we've got exclamation points. So enojado is angry, contento is happy. If it's good weather and you're not working, you're probably happy. So I'm going to put estar here. The estar for vosotros is estáis. So I'm going to change my estar to estáis. I've got contento, but it's vosotras, which is you all and you all girls. So I'm going to make it feminine and plural. Estáis contentas. Pedro y yo, porque estudiamos hasta las 3 de la mañana. If you studied until 3 in the morning, are you happy or tired? Probably tired. So I'm going to put estar. Okay, now if it's Pedro y yo, that's the same thing as saying we. We is nosotros, so it should be estamos and it doesn't matter if the yo is a female or a male. It's because there's one guy in there, Pedro. We have to treat it masculine, so we still keep cansado, but we're going to add an S because we know it was more than one person because it's Pedro and I, so estamos cansados. So just don't forget to do that piece where you have to make the adjectives agree.